So guys, Guardian Games should be returning to the game today with this week's weekly reset, and in today's video I wanted to go over all 4 of the weapons that you can find within this event, go over their perks and which ones you should be looking out for when farming. So let's jump into the first one here, that being the brand new weapon for this year's event, that being the Cranios. Probably saying that completely wrong, but this is the brand new Arc Trace Rifle that they talked about during the developer live stream last week. So in terms of perks, in the first column it can get Overflow, Hipfire Grip, Discord, Recycled Energy, Perfect Float, Dynamic Sway Reduction, and Eddy Current. And then in the second column it can get Detonator Beam, Rolling Storm, Killing Tally, Jolting Feedback, Closing Time, Perfect Harmony, and Killing Wind. And then for the origin trait, all these weapons come with Classy Contender, where final blows with this weapon will grant class ability energy. So, first column perks to look out for, Overflow is going to be a very good one. Picking up special heavy ammo, can automatically load the weapon beyond normal capacity, very good. Recycled Energy is an interesting one if you want to have more ability uptime. So this one will state that reloading after defeating targets grants energy to your lowest charged ability. Once again, great for like ability spam builds just generally, but mainly also Eddy Current there as well, paired with the other arc based perks on this weapon, can be very good, especially with all the arc based artifact perks that we have this season, and with the changes that the arc subclass got, Arc's just in a very good state, so Eddy Current there going to be a pretty decent option for you. Moving on to second column perks though, Detonator Beam I've only heard great things about, where dealing sustained damage creates an explosion around the target. I paired that with Overflow, going to be very good because you get that increased magazine size and then you can just proc Detonator Beam more often. Rolling Storm though, also great option. I love Bolt Charge. Bolt Charge is very, very strong. If you don't know what it is, I made a separate video breaking all that down, but very good option there, paired with Eddy Current, could be amazing. Same thing with Jolting Feedback, getting you that jolt off consistently, going to be amazing. And then alongside that, you also have Killing Tally here in that final column. Killing Tally, great overall perk, that with Overflow as well, going to be absolutely amazing. So if you're a fan of Trace Rifles, this one's going to be very much worth picking up. But moving on from there, let's now talk about the returning weapons with this year's event. First up, the Taraxapos, which is a returning lightweight frame strand scout rifle. And in the first column of traits, it can get Zen Moment, Keep Away, 4th times the Charm, Enlightened Action, Perfect Float, Lone Wolf, Closing Time. And then in the final column, it can get Hatchling, Precision Instrument, Kill Clip, Explosive Payload, High Ground, Tear, and Eye of the Storm. And this thing also comes with Classy Contender once again, but also Umlon Fluid Dynamics. So for PvE, first column trait, probably going to just recommend Enlightened Action here for that increased reload speed. Just a general very good perk for you. 4th times the Charm could also be pretty good, but I personally just prefer to have increased reload speed where I can get it. So that's going to be what I'm going to recommend. And then final column perks, Hatchling, very good one there, paired with a strand based build. Could be really, really good, especially if you're on Warlock and can get more out of those Threadlings. But they've also got things like Explosive Payload, once again, just very good traits, so very much worth going for. But then Tear, also a brand new trait, where precision final blows cause nearby targets to become severed. So if you're looking to spread that sever debuff, this one's also going to be a very good pickup. But then also for PvP, because this one does have some pretty decent PvP roles, Zen Moment or Keep Away in that first column going to be amazing. Also Lone Wolf and Closing Time as well, going to be very, very good options. And then pair that with Explosive Payload, Kill Clip, or Precision Instrument, or even Eye of the Storm, or High Ground if you have a way of keeping yourself up there, going to be very good options for you there for PvP. Moving on though, let's talk about the title, the returning Void SMG. This one can get Repulsor Brace in that first column, followed by Grave Robber, Threat Detector, Perpetual Motion, 2 to Pain, Closing Time, and Recycled Energy, followed by Destabilizing Rounds, Swashbuckler, Surrounded, Rangefinder, Elemental Honing, Under Pressure, and Demoralize. Now, PvE wise, Repulsor Brace followed by Destabilizing Rounds or Demoralize, going to be so good. Demoralize going to be spreading that weaken effect, so if you want to be weakening a whole lot of enemies, that's what I'm going to recommend. But if you want to be spreading Volatile instead, Destabilizing Rounds going to be the perk there for you. After this thing got a buff this season, it's just such a much better perk. So if you haven't tested it out yet, would highly recommend going for a Destabilizing Rounds roll. Other than that, you got Swashbuckler there if you're interested in punching stuff. Surrounded could also be pretty decent. And then PvP wise, Perpetual Motion, 2 to Pain, Closing Time, also going to be pretty good. Threat Detector there as well, just for the base increase there to different stats. Overall, going to be great options there for you. And then finally, let's talk Hullabaloo, which is quite an interesting weapon. I believe it's one of the only compressed waveframe grenade launchers. Other than that, I think you only have the Neomuna one, but this one coming at you going to be much easier to get your hands on. And then the first column of traits, you can get Volt Shot, Field Prep, Impulse Amplifier, Envious Assassin, Envious Arsenal, Stats Rule, and Demolitionist. And then in that final column, it can get Golden Tricorn, Chain Reaction, One for All, Cascade Point, Rolling Storm, Strategist, and Adrenaline Junkie. First off here, in terms of first column perks, Field Prep, Envious Arsenal, even Envious Assassin, maybe even Stats Rule as well, going to be your top options there. The main reason that you would want to use a compressed grenade launcher, though, is if you're going into Vesper's Host on that, I believe it's the Servitor boss, the first main boss. These do actually really well against that boss because you need to shoot multiple targets, and this compressed waveframe grenade launcher is very good at that. Sadly, there's no real decent damage perks other than One for All, which is going to be very good paired up with Stats Rule, and it's just an insane combo. But also, if you just want to use this thing for ad clear, you do have Volt Shot and Rolling Storm on this thing. That's going to go absolutely insane, or Volt Shot Chain Reaction as well. So a whole load of interesting perks on this one, but mainly if you just want like a decent DPS rotation roll, Envious Arsenal One for All or Stats Rule One for All can be pretty decent there for you, or you can go like Volt Shot Chain Reaction for ad clear, or Volt Shot Rolling Storm as well. Rolling Storm also generally could be pretty decent for DPS, but I would highly recommend probably One for All over that. And for the role that I'm going to be particularly going for on this weapon, just so I have an easier time of dealing with that Vesper's Host boss, I'm probably going to be rolling Stats Rule One for All here, just for that insane combo of hit multiple targets, get increased damage, and increased general stats. And yeah, that's basically it for all of these weapons. Tomorrow I'm going to have a video breaking down everything about the new Guardian Games event, because yes, there are some changes with this year's event. Finally, they updated these seasonal events, so it's going to be a very good time. So yeah, stick around for that video coming up tomorrow. But with all that said, that's it for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed, if you could, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, I would very much appreciate it. And I'll catch you all in the next one.